Hello, 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 and thank you for tuning in to Choose Your Talk Show. As you all know, this show is about mental health. So, we're gonna today talk about seasonal affect disorder. I know a lot of you may not know what that is, but seasonal affect disorder is also known as the winter blues. There are a lot of people that suffer from it, and not really know they don't really know what it is. They just know that they're having a downtime during the holiday season, during the winter time, the deep fall. They're just down and out. People with seasonal affect disorder have mood changes similar to those that accompany depression. The symptoms usually occur during the fall and the winter breaks, or when the sun goes down early. And a lot of times we just attribute it to being the holiday blues. But, you know, if it affects your mental health, if it affects your emotional health, it affects you. So don't fall into the grill of it. Just go ahead and choose you. The most difficult months are January and February because you're coming out of the holidays. A lot of times you seem to tend to push yourself on through when the holidays are around, or families there visiting, and you're looking forward to opening presents and eating good food. But when January and February comes, which are also the coldest months, you bow down and buckle down and lay low, and it sets the seasonal affect disorder off. While it's much less common, it is also possible to have it during the summer times. Um, the symptoms can be distressing and overwhelming because, like I said, right after the holidays, you don't want to put yourself out or bow, burden other people with your problems or what have you. So you tend to deal with it by yourself. But keep in mind, as like anything else, it can be treated. And it's really just more of a chemical imbalance because you don't get the same rays of sun that you do during the summertime. So it affects you. Sad is more common with people living further away from the equator where there are shorter sunlight hours. And we grew up all the time hearing, if you had a family like mine, go outside and get you some sun. And you didn't think, oh goodness, why go outside? I don't want to go outside. It's hot out there. But you didn't realize that it was really, really good for you. That sunlight is really, really good for you. Common symptoms of SAD is fatigue, oversleeping, weight gain, overeating. And because you do these different things, the cases range from mild to severe. Um, with the similarities of depression, a lot of times people just attribute it to being depressed. I'm just depressed because the holidays are gone. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling the holiday season. I'm not feeling what's coming behind it. I'm not feeling, but not really knowing that it's a more of an inside thing. Um, Feeling sad or having just the mood swings are common symptoms. Loss of interest in things that you enjoy doing. I'm not a walker or a runner, but I do like outside. I'll go outside and just stand out in the sun. But, during January and February, the cold weather is cold, so a lot of people don't get a chance to go out and feel that sunlight or get a chance to experience the normal running that they do. And and they'll say, I just don't feel up to it. Not realizing the reason they don't because there are other things going on within them. Um, the change in appetite. You probably eat more with it and you crave carbohydrates like chips and things that you're not supposed to have, but you crave them more because they're more satisfying, which means you'll not regulate as well your intake and tend to lead to overeating and sleeping too much. And I know if you're like me, you're gonna say, there's no such thing as sleeping too much. I'm a sleepyhead. I love to sleep. It doesn't take me long to fall asleep, and I can sleep for hours at a time. So it would be hard for me to diagnose that, for me to be diagnosed as having a sleeping disorder because I'm a sleepyhead. I could go to sleep in the middle of a movie. We could be riding down the street, not driving. I don't do that much driving. But if I'm riding at any given time, I'll go to sleep on you. So just keep that in mind. Oversleeping, getting too much sleep. And you can. Again, this is not across the board. This is not for everybody. Everybody is different. Everybody's makeup is different. And keep in mind, I am reading from research I've done. I am not licensed and I don't give medical advice. I'm just an advocate for mental health and I want everybody to be emotionally and mentally stable. Choose You was actually created just to be a platform, not just for me to have a diary and come in and talk about what's going on with me, but to openly provide a platform for those who are willing to share their stories or give their testimonies. Um, and I welcome you to send your information in, send your videos in, contact me for an interview. Let's do this. This is a team effort. A lot of times we are stagnated in getting the help we need because we're embarrassed that we need help. But if you actually reach out to people and communicate with people, you'll find out that you're not in this boat alone. You're not here by yourself. Um, Again, I have so many scenarios, whereas I've had to just go ahead and put myself first, push myself to put myself first. I know that sounds crazy, but a lot, because we'll just fall back and not think anything of it or be so busy trying to do for everybody else that we don't do for ourselves. But my tagline, God chose you, why not you choose you? Why not? The loss of energy is another symptom. When you're tired, no matter how much sleep you've gotten, if you're still tired, that's a big symptom. Increased purposelessness in physical activity, fidgeting, rocking. I know I bounced my leg. I used to bite my nails. I, I eat sunflower seeds, and that falls on the carbohydrate list, so you have to be mindful. And again, I'm not a professional, but a lot of the things that we're talking about here are things that I've experienced personally or know someone that have experienced these things personally. So I just thought I'd share, create a place, a safe place for us to share. Another symptom is difficult thinking, concentrating, and making decisions. Oh, wow. If you've heard the intro of for the show, then you know a lot of times it's hard to sig- signal yourself, okay, I'm doing too much. This is enough. I need to stop. Where do I go from here? Things just occur that way. And we really, really, really need to make a focus on doing what's best for you. Keep in mind now, what's best for you is not across the board. It's not going to be the same for everybody. It is not going to be the same for everybody. Things that are good for me, things that work for me, may not work for you. So you have to find that best fit for you. And the best way to find that best fit is to try different things. Um, if you can hear in the background, I like listening to jazz music. Sort of settles me, calms me. I found a station that plays gospel jazz. So, the two in one, that like took me over the top. So, at any given time, you'll hear my gospel jazz in the background. And I love it. I love it. Again, it's not for everybody, but for the most of us, it's the best thing going. Sad seasonal affect disorder can happen at any age, but it typically starts when a person is between 18 and 30. So those ages are the more developmental years when you really don't get a chance to notice because those are your busy years. Those are the years that you do and try just about anything. So you don't really notice that you're falling into a rut until you're already there. Like I told you before, it can be treated in several ways, including light therapy, um, antidepressant medications, talk therapy, and a combination of all of these. Whereas this is talk therapy. You get a chance to talk it out, you get a chance to go back and forth, you get a chance to hear other people's views. Um, if you're always alone, sometimes you need to hear other people's opinion and see their outlook on what's going on or what happens with them or what they've gone through, what they've tried, so that you can get an idea of what you could use or what works for you. And keep in mind, just like when the seasons change, a lot of times it'll go away once the spring comes and the sun is out more and you're out able to be out in the sun. It's not gonna it doesn't have the same effect, but with treatment it also helps you in the long run. It sort of speeds up the process. um, Light therapy, if you've ever been to like a tanning booth, then you pretty much know what the light therapy is. It's you sitting in front of UV ray. Again, that's not for everybody. That's not for everybody. Sometimes just a good conversation with a certain person takes it over the top. A lot of times you don't know what people have been through because you haven't had that conversation. So if you bring it up, I mean, and it's hard to talk to any and everybody because you don't want to be judged, you don't want to be singled out, but you have to realize you need it. You need it. If you need help, whatever that help may be, you have to take care of you. Take care of mind, body, and soul. I mean, it's a major thing. We make light of it, but it's so serious. It's such a big issue that we drown ourselves trying to hide from folk, trying to fit in. You don't want to be the one who has this issue. But you don't know. The lady sitting to your left or your right may have had the same issue, may have a deeper insight on it, may have some good pointers for you. Um, I know that they've created the little pop it thing for folks who fidget. And it was like, my niece, my grandkids, they love them things. And I'm like, what in the world is that? That's nothing. That's pretty much nothing. But given the situation, we're somewhere and I'm busy and I'm trying to take care of business and I have the crew with me, pass out them poppets and they're sitting over there just as content as can be. But I never would have known about it had I not asked, what do you do to calm the kids? Especially when you have a crowd. At any given time, I have three, four, five of them. So I found out if you give everybody a poppet, they'll sit back in their car seats, play with the poppets, and everybody's on point, on cool. And I don't have to do the sit back, calm down, don't touch, da da. So different things work for different folks. You just have to feel it out and see what works for you. 20 minutes a day of sunlight usually helps. I mean, some people wake up, they have to have that morning cup of coffee. Just make it like that. If you have to have your morning cup of coffee and you're running low on vitamin D, get you some sunlight. Sip your coffee in the sun. Get it in the best way you can. Make it work for you. Choose you. Choose you and make all of this about. The thing of it is, it's okay to choose you. God chose you. So why not choose you? And we're going to take a moment right here and allow you to see some of the supporters of Choose You Talk Show. I'll be back shortly. Welcome back. Welcome back. Those are a few of the supporters. Again, this is all about us. This is not just me, but you too. Choose You Talk Show. So if you would like to advertise or even be on the show, feel free to contact me. Okay? Again, this is a safe place. Um, Back to what we were talking about. Taking care of general health and wellness can also help. Regular exercise, eating better. Um, it says healthy, but of course, everybody doesn't eat healthy per se. Eating better than you normally would is a big deal because every every little bit counts. Baby steps. We're not all on the same page. We're not the same across the board. So some things that work for me may not work for you. Some things that work for you may not work for me. But if you're doing better to be a better person, to make yourself better day by day, if you choose you to take care of yourself, then you're winning. That's the winning part there. Also, some of the enlightening things, just being active. Sometimes, you'll be around the house. I know we do the jazzercise every now and then. The music comes on and we'll exercise to the music. I'm not a big dancer. I cannot dance. I can't dance. But the movement makes you feel better. And of course, especially with little kids, oh, they will boost you up. They send me out all the time. They send me out all the time. Um, and staying connected. A lot of time, people don't realize how important it is to be connected, not just to one somebody, but to a cause. You know, Fitting in is one thing, but being a part is a whole different thing. So if you volunteer or do group activities, even if it's just with your family, I have siblings and I have a cousin who's just like a sister. So a lot of times, she's like also my accountability partner. So it's a lot to, to doing what I need to do to make sure I'm healthy, as the old folks say, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Make sure I take care of me. And sometimes it'll be even if I'm on Facebook, I could be on Facebook and going to town liking everybody's posts, liking everybody's statuses, sending hearts and thumbs up and everything. And she might have to send a message, get off Facebook. Yeah, you have to think about it. She's right, go ahead and take some time for yourself because you're too focused on what's going on with other folks. So choose you. And again, if you feel any of the symptoms of SAD, seasonal affective disorder, go ahead and get you some professional help. Um, there's nothing wrong with getting help. There's nothing, there is absolutely nothing wrong with getting help. A medical professional could diagnose SSU and actually point you in the right direction of what you need to do and how you need to do it. But with the right treatment, SAD is a manageable condition. And that's what it's all about, getting help, being the best you, choosing you. That's what this is all about. And if you're a Bible scholar, you know, think about it. Paul from the Bible had the same issues. He could have just focused on the negative aspects of his life, but he didn't. We have to make this same choice. You can either have a negative outlook or you can have a positive outlook. How you deal with it is up to you. But before you make a choice of how you deal with it, make sure you choose you. Make sure you choose you. Two different people can look at the same situation, same circumstances, and see completely different situation. It can be a completely different thing. You just have to make sure you do what's best for you, what's right for you. And it has everything to do with how and what you think. The biggest battle is in your mind. Your biggest battle is in your mind. A lot of time we're fighting causes and cases that have nothing to do with us, that will actually bring nothing to the table for what we're trying to do. It's all within your head. It's in your mind. And the way to get past those battles, the way to win those battles is to choose you. Proverbs 23:7 says, "For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." The greatest battle we face is the one within our minds. Hmm. Victory or defeat, whichever you choose, it takes place within your mind. And whatever your choice is, make sure you choose you. Overcomer. The definition of an overcomer is one who may go from defeat to defeat, but continues to persevere. Can you get through it? Can you go through it? Can you move on? You can if you choose you. You really, really can. You can if you choose you. But the biggest part of it is having to choose you. Are you able to choose you? Why not choose you? Why not choose you? Just think about it. A lot of times we weigh our decisions on what other people are going to think, or what other people are going to feel, what we're going to lose or gain from the given situation, without just thinking about ourselves. Choose you. Is it going to make you a better person? Is it going to bring you happiness to your heart? It's all about you. It's all about you. And that's not to be selfish or conceited, but it's to bring some balance because you are going to stress yourself out, wear yourself down, thinking about other people, thinking about what other people have going on. Don't worry about them because I know they're going to take care of themselves. Worry about you. What about you? In the decision of what's going with this one and that one and what have you. Do you choose you? Choose you. Choose you. You know, I do a lot of sporadic reading of the Bible. And this is one thing, and I'm going to let you go on after this. Um, in admission to Agrippa, Paul said the marvelous words in the James Version in Acts 26 1 and 2. I think myself happy. Now, I realize this was just the introduction before the speech, but these words capture such great truth. And that was his total perspective on life. I think myself happy. Because remember, he's been locked up. He's gone through so much stuff, so many different changes. I think myself happy. Don't you want to be happy? Now, keep in mind, Paul had been scourged 5 times by the Jews, beaten 3 times with rods, stoned, shipwrecked, had threats and riots taken against him. And in all of that, he still chose to be happy. Happiness depends on what happens. That's what we call it happiness. If your day is a good day, you're happy. If your day is a bad day, 9 times out of 10, you're not so happy. But if you put your trust in happiness, then you'll be a victim of circumstance because happenstances happen, things change. But what doesn't change? God doesn't change. A lot of times we rejoice in circumstances, but that's not what we're supposed to do. The only thing we need to rejoice in is the Lord. Think yourself happy. Choose you. Choose to be happy. That's all I have for you today. And I ask that you watch the following commercials and see, you know, in those dark times, if you need somewhere to reach out, someone to reach out to, check this out. Check out Choose You. Check out GMs. There are several outlets. But no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no, in the end, you're gonna win. But you gotta choose you.